Good morning, traders. Good morning. How are we all doing today? Today is September 6th, 2024, and the markets are looking good. It is Friday. Beautiful day to be in the markets here. We do have a couple of positions already. We are going to be going over a couple of different companies here. We're going to be going over WHLR, BLMZ, VS, FFIE, as it pushed up today pre-market, SYTA, MARA or MARA, and LFCR. Now guys, I sold way too early yesterday, guys. FFIE pushed up amazingly. There's my sell order right there in the fives, and pushed up to 725. Could have resulted in over $300 if I would not have sold down here. Instead, I lost about 150 bucks on this trade yesterday. So instead of holding and making money, I actually lost money by selling way too early. Way too early. So we got a couple of minutes until the market opens. About 2 minutes here. We're going to make sure that we copy our link, get that shared to our groups, so that way everyone is aware of what is happening. Uh-oh. Got a failed load. Not looking so good here. I'm just going to do this. Go here real quick. All right, market opens in 1 minute, guys. 1 minute. Something is pushing up for us here. Mara pushing up $26 up on the day right now. Pushing up from those lows of $13.64 to $14.34. Up $2 on FFIE. VS is flat. Down a little bit on SYTA. These two have potential though. VS and SYTA have potential now that the market opens. So let's see what happens here. Market opens in just a couple of seconds. Make sure that we're locked in, we're focused, we're ready to go. Here we go. Okay. Market is open. What is SYTA and VS gonna do? SYTA can push up just a little bit. That would be nice. Now Mara, we're holding a little bit more long term, so we don't want to focus on Mara too much. We want to focus on FFIE, VS, and SYTA. SYTA looks like it is pushing up. I shouldn't probably be in these many positions at once, as they can all literally just sell off very easily. Like FFIE may just end up selling off today. I'm not sure we're going to actually hold here and get a bounce. Doesn't look like it. A lot of red volume. Okay, SYTA pushing up slightly. Now FFIE was on the scanners. Whoops. FFIE was on the scanners here, so let's see what happens. Got one more group to share this with. SYTA not doing much here. Hoping to get a little bit more of a continuation, as these were on the top gainers tab, but it doesn't look like we are. Even for SYTA, that would have been nice to push up a little bit more. We're gonna hold just for a few moments here. WHLR selling off, BNEF selling off, Bloom's not doing much, kind of trading sideways. So where is all of the volume at today, guys? XPawn, a lot of volume in XPawn right now, ton of volume. Not really seeing too much volume with anything else right there. Kind of both just trading sideways here, so we're gonna wait and see what happens. Up almost $10 on the day, most of it from Mara though. Have almost $900 in market value in Mara, up about 30 bucks. FFIE have about $200 versus, or FVS has about 136, and SYTA about 142. Looks like SYTA is just gonna sell off here. We're going to go over a couple other companies in just a minute. Like FFIE, I sold way too early, guys. We would be selling right now, locking in profits from yesterday. Jumped at 2 a.m. this morning from $5 to $7.25. We sold at $5. So you know we could have been up 150 bucks, 200 bucks this morning. But hey, that's okay. You know, we had a good trade idea. We just didn't execute the trade plan at the right time or with, you know, perfect execution. So, of course, that's going to happen sometimes. Now we're going to see what SYTA does. I'd love to see this curl back up over as a 5-minute. Looks like it can possibly curl over. Not looking too good on the 1 minute here. And there's really not really a lot of action going on as far as anywhere else. I do not recommend taking 3 positions at once, that's for sure. It is Friday though, a lot of action. Couple of moves we made. We sold too early, guys, on a couple of these. FFIE, LFCR, ASST, OCGN. In the last couple of weeks, we have sold way too early. Yeah, SYTA is just going to sell off. I do not think it's going to be able to recover. Let's see here. 118, 119. So that is somewhat of a support right there at that 135. Was that 135? That's what it looks like right here. 138, 139, 135, 140. So 140. If it can't hold 140, then it's toast. Let's see if we can hold 140. Looks like it is. VS needs to hold 120. And FFIE needs to hold this 530 level. SYTA pushing up, trying to anyways. Red, I just don't think it's going to do it. 136, 141. Okay, we're trying to get a little bounce off of these. I'm not sure it's going to happen though. Mara's our savior here. It was up $30 a moment ago. Pulled back a little bit to this VWAP and 45-day moving average. Should see it pop up now to some new highs. FFIE not doing much. Yeah, it looks like this isn't going to hold. VS looks like this support held. Let's see if it can get above these other levels now. Okay. Hello, hello, welcome. Welcome. How are we all doing today? Good morning. Can't really talk today, but I'll be watching, causing a ruckus. No worries, no worries. That's okay. All right, perfect. There we go. VS. Okay, so VS held that support as well. Let's see if we can get any higher. I think these are probably going to end up selling off as they've made the move that they've needed. They are exhausted though. A lot of buyers should be stepping in at 120 if they see fit. It's a nice support over the last couple of days. SYTA, same thing. Nice support at that 138, 135 level as it was resistance previously. It was support previously, slight resistance, and then now we'll see if this is going to hold up as support again. FFIE has had that support range at about $5, so again, getting in way too high up, but could see another breakout of this like 648-ish, 650 level. If it can break out, we can see that high as 7 again. Kind of the same scenario as yesterday, where it sells off in the morning, consolidates, and then pre-market it pushes up and then just sells off. Sometimes you can get a pre-market bounce like this one here that happened on 9/4, which was on Wednesday, but doesn't always have to happen that way. Okay, one of these broke. This broke. Yeah, we're gonna have to sell out of SYTA as it broke its support level here. 134, 133.5, 133. If I see 129, I'm out. We see 129, we're getting out of this thing. VS, still not doing too bad. Trying to push back up. Yeah, if we see 129, the board, we're out. See if this can push up just a little bit. That's all we need, just a little push. Now, I do not believe these are the top gainers on the day. And just like that, down another 50 bucks. Well, Mara makes up for some of it too, right? I mean, we're already down on Mara. Position is way up here. We went from 43 shares to 66 shares overnight, buying a bunch of those right here in this area at that $14 level. So I brought my average down from like 1550s to 1480s. Not too bad. 132, 135. Yeah, it didn't have the action I wanted. I thought we were going to be able to get a little bit more of a pop during the market open, because they were kind of, you know, trailing nicely above the support line. At open though, it was below that weighted moving average, so that's not good. Same thing with this one. As soon as it opened below, this was its little spike here, and that was pretty much it. And FFIE, it's exhausted. It did what it needed to do here this morning from 5 to 725. It's just going to sell off maybe all the way back down to 5. Mara, not worried about Mara, as we're up $30, but overall we're down still 30. And now that it's pulling back, we'll just average down, buy a little bit more in those $13 levels. And when it does finally go up to those $16, $17, $18 levels, we'll have closer to 100 shares. Be a 3, 4, you know, even $500 trade if it goes that way. So looks like we're still holding up at that 120, 132, 132, 123. So right now we're just waiting, guys, just waiting to see what happens. There seems to be a lot more action going on in WHLR. This was suspended just now because it went from 770 to 920. That would have been an amazing play. 700 bucks. You'd be now at 900, $200 in profit. BLMZ, this would have been a nice one as well, from 130 to 185. That's about, you know, 50-cent per share profit. But compared to the ones that I'm trading, look at that. Blooms went up, SYTA went down. BNF went sideways and went up. VS just kind of trailing sideways. Wheeler sold off a little bit and went up. FFIE is going down and really not doing much of anything. So, honestly, just picked the wrong ones today. As we can see here, something just broke its support. No, nothing broke support. Oh, Mara's just continuing to sell off, so it's going to look pretty bad here because of Mara. I may consider what is it called? Because I'm pulling over 60 from yesterday. And like 60, like $70 from yesterday. And it's already another 70 because Mara, well, $6 for Mara, 15 for FFIE, 13 for VS, and 18 for SYTA. Now they're still holding that support, which is very interesting. I mean, on a short term, it looks very bad. If you hold a little bit longer, you could see this go up more, or you can see it go down more. So definitely waiting to see. Not a great way to start the Friday morning here, as we were up right at the beginning of the stream. And yeah, so over the weekend we're going to be kind of yeah, we're just going to get out of this one. 40 shares. It's not going to do anything. It's not going to do what we want it to do. But reevaluate some of my trading strategies, see what's working, see what's not. I know at the beginning of the series we had better luck trading Mara. I know Mara's been in a downtrend for quite some time here, but at the same time, Mara had a lot of movement, you know, 6 to, you know, 4, 6%, even 10% sometimes in movement per day. So, you know, that's plenty. It's not as volatile. It's a little bit easier for me to predict as well. And hey, that's okay too. I just need more practice with some of these pre-market, like FFIE again. Just if I would have held it, I would have been up. And now holding it doesn't necessarily seem so great. It can hold at $5, doesn't necessarily mean it has to. It can go back down to these $3 levels. So, you know, for that reason, maybe I'm out. I was hoping to get a little bit more of a bounce on these, and it just does not look like it's happening. This broke 129, so like I said, we're going to get out of this now. If it breaks 129, we were going to get out. Then again, that might be where a lot of people also got out. Sold 2,000 at 130. But I think if this just continues to sell off, there's no bounce. It broke support on all levels, on the 1 minute, on the 30, and on the 5 minutes. So all levels were broke. 128. 129. And there's really no volume either. It just is not enough volume here. 15,000, yeah, but 1,000. A lot of volume here. 87,000 volume. So we're at support. We just got to be patient. Very patient. $130 is a psychological number too, so we people buying in and selling this at 130. And it was at 130 before, so we just want to give it more time. It could trade in this area for an hour and a half, 2 hours. Hey, good morning, happy Friday, Major. Hello. Scott Bot, just sit on it. Sit on it, let drop, then it will pop. That's what I'm thinking too. SYTA, even VS, it's at a really nice support level. You know, it can't get much lower than 120-ish. If it does, then obviously I have to get out. SYTA, same thing, about, you know, about $1-ish, about $1 level. So it got in a little high, but I do think it will pop as well. And then FFIE, again, still solid support over the last couple of days, at least a solid week. And now it did sell off a little bit more aggressively to this $3 mark. But I mean, as far as the patterns go, support and resistance, this looks like a clean trade. We just got to wait for it to actually take effect, right? That's what we're doing here. Got to be patient, guys. Patience. And we seen that yesterday. Now that we kind of noticed not much is happening here, let's go ahead and talk about those other positions real quick. Bitcoin isn't doing much. It's kind of stuck in this downward trend channel. We could break this downward trend channel, then we could start seeing some upward momentum here, as it is finding that support. Okay, 1, 2, 3, or if you want to call this a double bottom or a triple bottom or whatever you want to call it, but it's here at support again. So now this would be an area of opportunity to buy. Same thing with Mara. That'd be a nice opportunity to buy, as you know, it's been in this area before. It's been in this 1350 area before several times. I even started my Mara journey in the $14 mark, trading back in these levels. Okay, so all this time trading between, you know, 14 and 15 and 23 and you know, 13 and 27. So this is pretty normal. I mean, this would be the phase to where you'd want to actually start loading up if you're thinking of Mara either a little long term or vice versa. Now BITO, I added it to the crypto watch list as it does showcase That this is an ETF, ProShares Bitcoin Strategy ETF. You can get it on it right now for $17. Lows of about 15, it looks like, or maybe around $12 in the past, as high as $23. So this would be an interesting company if you're not really too interested in Mara. BITO or BITO would be something of interest. Again, putting it on the ETF here. Now for SPY, we want to take a look at SPY as a whole on the 4-hour, as this is still trading within this channel. Again, finding some support at 545. This could easily get back up to 565. Now it could also just continue to make lower lows and get back down to that $507 mark. Same thing with QQQ, same channel, same thing as SPY, just a different price. SQQQ is very oversold right now, or very overbought. This could potentially reverse down if the market recovers. If the market recovers, then you can see TQQQ potentially push up very nicely to those highs of where it was about, 63. That'd be nice, right? If we can hit 63 and past 63, 64, then we get up to 70, then we get up to 73. So we're waiting for that rebound with TQQQ. JNUG also very nice opportunity, again, in the support range area. If it can hold 38, then we can see this potentially bounce up to $44 in this nice little channel here, resulting in some decent profits. 38 to 44, that's $6 per share. So not too bad at all. JDST, same thing. If it keeps getting rejected here at resistance of 35.25, then this will continue. This will go down. If we can get confirmation that this is going to sell off, as this is for gold, this is a bears, right? So if gold starts doing well, this will sell off. But if we get bad news, or gold is not in a good place Monday morning, and it breaks this resistance of $35, then consider investing in this, as it is against gold. So if gold goes down, this will go up, and vice versa. So we'll see what happens. Again, finding that support at $38, getting in at 38, as long as it doesn't break 38, gets lower than 37.65, or get lower than 35.50, something like that. You don't want to see it go lower than 37. I'd say, buy at 38, cut your losses at 37.50. If it gets lower than that 37.65 range, which is what it's at now, 37.65, and if that's the case, then cut your losses or buy more if you feel like it will bounce up. Now a lot of buyers are coming in on JNUG, so again, nice little area of support. Now moving forward here on some stocks that we were talking about, was it SMFL? We've been trading a lot of companies. We've been trying a lot of new, not really new strategies, but some different things, some different potential here. Was it LFCR? No, we wanted to talk about, of course, FFIE. We talked about how I sold too early, buying, and first day here we made over $100, or we made $100. It was $98.96 on this first day here. Buying at $3.93 and then selling at $4.80.05, and then buying a little high up here, buying in the $6 area, 150 shares around that $6 mark, selling for a loss yesterday in that $5 mark, right around $160 loss, guys. It was horrible. Now if I would have just held, we did get a nice pop up to $7.25, could have locked in easily $150, but did no such thing yesterday, as I had already sold. So again, sold too early. That is the whole point of this conversation here. Bought at $5.94, so it bought a little bit high still, but if we can get up to $7.25 from $5.94, that's still a good, $1.30 each share. So 40-50 bucks in profit potentially on this if it does recover. Could always add more shares to this if we do see signs of it recover, but right now I don't really want to add much to it. Now it is really red here on this screen, which is fine, as a lot of these companies do tend to go up and then sell off. Now same thing with this, I sold a day too early on ASST, buying at 169, selling at 224. So I still made a profit on ASST. I think it was close to $80, or was it $100? I think it was close to $100 on ASST. The only thing was that from 225 to 169, 170, 30, 55. I guess it was like 55 or 60 bucks. Now I sold too early because it went up to 350 the very next day, potentially being able to lock in another $100, $150 on top of the money it already made. So no bueno there on that one, as I sold too early. LFCR was one of the ones we wanted to talk about. Buying here, buying in these areas the day before, consolidating along this line and not doing anything, and then selling at 425. I had 423, 450, 444. So I think I lost maybe like $10 or so on this. And then the very same next morning when I sold at 425, it went up to 475, which would have resulted in a $50 profit instead of a $10 loss. So very interesting to see as I sell too early on some of these companies. Same thing with Oxygen. Guys, the very next day, I held this company for like weeks. I held it here, buying 100 at 129, buying another 100 at 125, about another 100 at 124, and then I sold 100, I sold 500 shares at 129, and the very, well, not the very next day, but 2 days later, it went up to 146. 500 share move, 15 cents. It would have been amazing. You know, it would have been close to, I think, like 65, 75 bucks on something that I was holding for a very long time. So sometimes patience is definitely a virtue here. You gotta hold those ones that you're confident with, and sometimes you hold too long and you lose money, which is what happened to me. Now look at FFIE. I didn't lock in the $30 profit. It dipped. I didn't hold it through the dip. I sold and then it recovered, and going beyond its recovery. So again, sometimes holding a little longer is beneficial, and sometimes it's devastating. So only you know which ones are right for you. So it pushed up to 147. Couldn't get above it. I think we're still very early in these stages of these trades here. Again, you know, I really want a lot of these plays to happen during our live stream video, so that way we can showcase the trade plan playing out. And a lot of times that doesn't happen. I tend to force a trade just to hopefully showcase what I'm doing and you know, what I'm actually wanting it to do, right? And sometimes it doesn't play out that way. This took a whole day for it to play out. It traded along our support line right here all day long. If I would have just been more patient and held my position all day and all night, the next day it had a nice rally, right? And then it sold off, obviously. But you really have to trust your trade plan. And again, and just know that sometimes your trade plan might not work out in the first 5 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour of the market open. It might play out an entire day or two later. But if you have a solid trade plan, you believe in it, and you're confident, and it's not going against your trade plan, okay? That's not what I mean. Like, oh, well, if it goes against it, then you can hold, because all you have to do is hold. Well, no, not necessarily. If your trade plan is still solid, and it's not going against any of your terms, right? Like, it's not below your stop loss. Like, if my stop loss is set at 128, it doesn't go below it, then we're still in. If it goes below 128, then obviously my trade plan didn't work out, and you know, then we're wrong and we just get out. Thank you. So right now it looks like everything is going according to plan. We're just waiting for a bigger move, as some of these don't have a lot of volume, which is unfortunate. I guess I could have picked some of these other top gainers here. Willer is selling off from the open. BENF had a nice little pop and is now consolidating. BLMZ, or Blooms, is actually trailing up very nicely. A lot of volume, a lot of action happening right now. It's at 45 million volume, and it's actually starting to push up as we speak here, from those $1.22 level to just now breaking $2, 66%, 80 cents per share. Very nice indeed. This would have been a nice one to play, and still is technically still a good one to play here. let's see, 280. Looks like it had some highs of 550, 360, $2. So may start becoming a little bit overbought, but definitely breaking those pre-market highs of the day. Pre-market highs would have been right around this level. And as soon as it caught that breakout, then that's when we would have then been able to buy. So sometimes too, the trades don't come in till a lot later on in the day too. Right now we're almost at 8 o'clock. So this would have played out very nicely. Buying this little early pre-market breakout, as you can see, the volume was starting to pick up. As soon as it went from 160 higher, that's when all that action came in. All the buyers stepped in, and now here we are above that EMA line. Now SYTA, I believe, was on the number one. Let's see who's on the number one right now. Number one is WHLR still, but not really recovering, just selling off still. Now this one is amazing because it was trading at 50 cents the day before, $4.60 after hours. So another cool strategy is looking at your after hours, and this ran up 60% after hours yesterday. VOR ran up, BFI ran up, SYTA also ran up. This is why I thought I can get a continuation play, as it was in the after hours loop. So was VS, right? Okay, so after hours was showcasing these same companies that are here pre-market. Bloom's hitting 228, $2, probably gonna get halted pretty soon. Surprised it didn't already when it went from 180 to 228. BENF. Now Bloom's went up because basically saying 150 points, US adds 142,000 jobs in August. And then this one, yep, it got suspended. It got suspended because it went from 720 to 847. It moved, I mean, even from 795 to 850, it almost moved $1 in one little candle. It moved 7% or 56 cents, 75 cents. Yeah, it moved a full dollar in 1 minute, and now it's suspended. BLMZ, it's moved quite substantially from 185, but not a whole full dollar. BNEF, that would have been a good one. BNEF pushing up, very nice. SYTA just trading sideways still. FFIE somewhat still sideways on that support level. And what was my other one? BS. Oh, Mara. So it looks rough today because of Mara, guys. Looks really rough. Taking 20 points off the board this morning. Getting into some new lows. And hey, that's fine. I'll accept the new lows. We'll just have to keep averaging down, I guess. Basically. But definitely a downward trend. This little bull trap here, this little pop-up this morning would have been nice. And it still is possible because 1360 looks like a pre-market support. 1358 actually. So still in the game, but not looking good for us and for Mara. FFIE, VS, and SYTA. We're going to continue to hold these as they are staying above support. I'll try to keep you guys updated as much as possible in our Sunday or in our Discord. Second link in the description. You could also take this conversation over to there. AZI, Scott Boss is saying, look out for a couple day trade. Definitely oversold. From 122s to possibly $3. That would be nice. 122s. Potentially $3. That 305, something like that. $3. $3 on the dot. That'd be very interesting. News. Interesting. Okay, cool. Cool call out, Scott Boss. I'll take a look at this over the next few days. Who knows? Monday it might be back up at threes. Might take a little longer. So we'll wait and see on that one. And causing a ruckus. Who causes suspension and why? Isn't that technically manipulation in the market? No, not necessarily. They do that specifically. Let me go back to, what was it? Top gainers suspended. They suspend companies when they have too big of a move, and they do that on purpose to really help the investor, to protect the investor. And let's see, also be for different reasons too. Could be anticipation of a news announcement. It could be a technical glitch. That's a big one. It could be due to regulatory concerns. If the price, in this case, the price moved too rapidly, it'll trigger a halt based on exchange rules, and that can be different for every exchange. When the SEC has questions about the company or has not received accurate information, they can suspend it. Major corporate transactions like mergers or acquisitions, restructuring, etc. can also put a suspension. And these can last for days. This can last for a few minutes. So it just depends. Significant information, whether negative or positive, and regulatory development. Here we go. Suspension has resumed. Usually it'll push back a little and then pop up really fast. So let's see what happens here. And they do it to calm the market. Yeah, basically. Or else some things could get up, 1,000,000%, and it could be a lot of bag holders up that high. 23 million volume today. Only 1.22 free float. 1.2 million shares outstanding. And their average volume in 3 months is only 1.58 million. We've surpassed their volume by a lot, right? Their average 3-month volume, 1.58. That's 20 times volume. That's why they're interested. That's why they got into it. And now it can continue to go up, maybe getting back up to those $9 mark, even $15 mark today, guys. This is where this company got to. From $4 to $15. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine? That's $11 per 100 shares. So if you had 400 bucks invested at 2 a.m., you could have pulled out $1,500 this morning for $900 in profit. And a lot of people are waking up this morning to that exact thing. Maybe they were invested in this company in the $1 mark or in the $6 mark. Well, going to 15, you're doubling your money. You had $10,000 in this yesterday, you're up 20 grand. So, yeah. WHLR pushing up above all these averages, and the VWAP showing signs of buyers coming in, stepping on the gas. Let's see if we can get up to some new highs. It possibly can. BLMZ selling off a little bit, still above that VWAP, so we'll see what happens. BNF sell off, XBON not doing much, SYTA staying sideways, FFIE basically in that support range here. I don't think it's going to hold. I really think it's just going to sell off, potentially maybe even go back to threes. So we're just waiting to see what happens with that. Mara, at that support as well, 1360 pre-market support. Doesn't mean it doesn't have to break through it though and continue to sell off, as it definitely could. Siri not looking too good either. Siri is having a bad week, a bad month, a bad year, a bad decade. Sirius XM radio is not doing good at all, guys. Don't buy the news. All right, and that's the video for today. I appreciate your guys' time. Like always, remember that's in the week on a green note and the year on a green note. Also, remember we are doing our Sunday night stock talk. We're actually going to get in here and clean up some of our stocks. We have 37 on our list, but we're going to get in, clean some up, maybe take some off, and add some new ones for next week. I'm excited to see what companies go up, what ends up on the after hours gainers list, which is right here, and go from there, guys. We'll see what makes it for Monday's plays. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Wish we could have seen a little bit more action today, but there's still possibility for these to recover. So appreciate you guys' time. Like always, remember, let's have a good weekend to all of you, and we will see you Sunday. If not, we'll see you Monday morning at market open. Thanks, guys, and have a great day.